Good dawn. Good dawn day. How are you, CJ and CW, Sister Jeannie later? Maria, where are you? Are you watching? I lost track. I have gotten your emails. It's just been kind of crazy here. Who else? Hello, Lucy and Andrew, Garrett, and all you new subscribers. And commenters, if you would, if you're new, just put what state or what country you're from in the comment section if you watch this later. All right, today is March. My goodness, it's April 4th, 2024, and it's Thursday. We'll continue with our virtues this week. And today's is temperance. So let's get right to it. We're in the midst of a nor'easter here where I live. Very unusual for this time of the year. So if the power goes out or everything suddenly quits on us, you'll know why. We have about 3.5 to 4 inches of snow on the ground, and it's very heavy, sticky, and wet. And it's actually beautiful. It's sticking to all the tree branches. However, it's supposed to get windy, and that's may bring those branches down. All right, let's get started. I don't know about any of you, but in New England, we drink water from a ball jar. I'm feeling a little tickle in my throat. I'm hoping I'm going to plow through it the next couple of days. In nomine Deum matronam nostre et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of the Trinitarian Theophany and humbly venerate Deum matronam nostre et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Most holy and venerable Trinitarian Theophany, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O God, relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain the pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum, Deum Matronam Nostre. Deum Matronam Nostre. O Trinitarian Theophany, I love thee above all things, with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me, and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank God for the many graces that we receive, and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to the Trinitarian Theophany. O Deum matronam nostre et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good. And let us beg of the Trinitarian Theophany the graces which are necessary to us. O Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O Deum matronam nostrae, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, and my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O most holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because they offend thee, O most holy Trinitarian Theophany. Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, who are all good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. The capital virtue of temperance overcomes the sin of gluttony. This virtue is also one of the cardinal virtues. Temperance is the internal virtue that helps us to control our love of eating and drinking and sex, whereas the virtue of fortitude helps us to keep going in the midst of adversity. Temperance, on the other hand, helps us to stop in the midst of pleasure. This is also a virtue that we need to pray for, as most people today go for the gusto and never even think about moderation. That can include your drive for money. All-you-can-eat buffets are the bane of a lot of people today, and cause a lot of people to fall into the sin of gluttony. Because the more you eat today, the more your stomach stretches, and the more you have tomorrow to fill it up. A true death spiral. Gluttony does not just mean food, it means that desire for the overabundance of any particular pleasure. So, pray for the virtue of temperance and then practice it. Okay? And that's where your conscience comes in. You'll feel that twinge, oh, I shouldn't have that. I shouldn't do that. I should stop doing that. So then listen and do it. Okay, because when you make that first attempt to stop doing what you shouldn't be doing, and you succeed even for the moment, you are given graces for that. Okay, the act gives you grace. Prayer gives you the awareness. All right, so pray for the awareness, act, and receive the grace, which then allows you to get better and better at it. It's easier and easier, and you can actually pull yourself away from those unholy vices. It works. I can attest to it, okay? So, study these virtues and pray for awareness that you're in the midst of the opposite virtue, and then practice moving back to fulfill the virtue. All right? And you will succeed. We will get to that transforming union. I'm refraining from discussing too much on all the crazy events in the world, because our prayers can help with those at a certain point after we get our own house in order. So that's why I'm focusing on the virtues. We have to become virtuous before we can change anything. Deum vobiscum, quoque apote oremus. O Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one God, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum hanc immaculatum hostium, quam ego indinius famulus tuus offerit tibi Deum meum vivum et verum, pro innumerabilibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentis meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus, sed pro omnibus fidelibus, Catholicorum vivis aquae defunctis, ut mihi et illis proficiat ad salutem. Deum qui humanae substantiae dignitatem mirabilite condedisi et mirabilis reformaste da nobis spiritus sacra divinum mystium, eis divinitatis esse consortis qui militatis nostrae, fieri de notis es partaceps, Deum Iesum Christum filium tuum, qui tecum vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum, Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum de peccatis clementium, ut consueto divini majestatis tuae, pro nostra totius mundi salute cum odoris suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito, suscipiam ad Deum Iesum Christum, et sec fiat sacrificium nostrum in consueto tu hodie, ut placeat tibi Deum matronum nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificite blata prosequendo, et accepere hoc sacrificium. Tuo sanctum nomini preparatum, suscipe Sancta Trinitas concobrationem cum tibi afferimus a momum passiones, resurrectiones et ascensiones Deum Iesum Christum, et in honoram Deum matronam nostrae et Papa Peter Sanctorum et Istonum, ut illis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem et salutem et illi pro nobis intercedere dinent in celis, quorum amore magimus in telis per innum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut meum equestrum sacrificium acceptabile fiat apud Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipia Deum Iesum Christum, sacrificium de manibus tuis, et laudem et gloriam nomini sui, ad utilitatem quoque nostrum totiusque ecclesiae sui sanctae. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apete sursum corda habemus ad Deum, gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te tu clementes mi mater et pater, Deum matronum nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum filium tuum, Deum nostrae, supplicis rogamus ac petimus, uti accepta abeas sanctificas. Ex sanctum sacrificium illibata. In primis quid tibi afferimus pro ecclesiam tuam sanctum catholicam, quam pacificare custodidi ad honore et regere digneris tot orbit et aurum atque catholicae, Memento Deum famolorum famoloquitorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We pray for Katie and Gage, Mindy Busquet, Mark Jr., Casey, Maria Josephina Mose, Henry, Barbara, Benedict Santa Croce, Mr. Nobody, Ann Bultink, the Cantu and Duarte families, John Cahill, Maria Lineweber, and the Lineweber, Dosco, Nye, Tafour, Began, and Wolf families. We pray for baby Began and for Alex Tafour. We pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sede Vacantis Catholic Council office in Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse, or human trafficking of any kind, anywhere, place, or time. We pray that people stop mass migrating. It doesn't help. They're all lying to you about the benefits. It's a trap. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, medium of exchange, with no usury for every nation in the world, so that they each set up this system and peace will thrive in each nation. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society. We ask Deum Matronam Nostra et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum with this Mass to destroy the satanic document of Vatican law that is the Jewish Talmud. We ask you to destroy Rome and the Vatican and transfer the authority of the Catholic Church to Fatima, Portugal, as God Our Lady has asked. Deum Matronam Nostrae. We also ask you to release the souls controlled by the demon Lilith and the demon Asmodeus and send them to hell. All of these things we ask in accordance with God's holy will. Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et omnium circumstantium quorum tibi fideis cognita est et notor votio, pro quibus tibi afferimus, ver qui tibi affrontox sacrificium laudis, pro se suisque omnibus, pro redemptione anomanum suarum, pro spe salutis et egulamitatis suae, tibique redum vota sua, aeterno Deum vivo et vero. Communicantes et momone venerantes in primis gloriose semper Deum Matronam Nostrae et Deum Iesum Christum, et Beatorum Martyrium Tuorum Papa Sancti Petri, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum, quorum meritis praetibusque concedas, ut in omnibus protectiones tuae monum exilio, per endum Christum Deum nostrum. Quam oblationem de Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in nomine Domini, consecratum acceptabilem quae fecedi dineris et nobis corporum, et sanguinem fiat edictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum. Qui pridie quam pater et recepet panem in sancta sacramentablis manus suas, et deligosis oculis in caelum ate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suum omnipotentem divi gratias agens. Consecratum, frege didicui lumis sui dicens, accipite et mandacate ex hoc omnis. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simini modo postquam ceremonia est cip inser hunc preclaram calicem in sancta sacramentablis manus suas item tibi gratias agens. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Consecrave didicui lumis sui dicens accipite et bibite ex omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei, mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis affundetur in remissionem peccatorum. Hei quatescum fugititis in me mono facietis.
unde et memores Deum nos servitui, sed plebs tua sancta iustum Christum filium tuum Deum nostre, tambe et pessionis nec non et event feliz resurrectionis, sed et in celos gloriose ascensionis offerimus preclare maestati tuis donis actatis. Suproque propitio auxere novultur speciali digneris. Supplicis ergamos Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, iube hic perfere per manus tuum ut corpus, ex hoc ataris participationis sacrosanctum Deum Filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem sincerimus, omni sanctificatione celesti, et gratia Dei per amor per Deum Christum Deum nostre. We pray for those who have died, and we pray for my grandmother Yolanda Santa Croce, for whom this Mass is being offered. Ipsis Deum et omnibus in Christum crescentibum locum reficere lucis et pacis et dolor geste proclama per Deum Christum Deum nostrum. Per quem hic omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivificas, consecratis et prestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso, est ibi Deum Patrum omnipotente in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Deum, maternam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Deum maternam nostrae, materam Deum Iesum Christum misericordia nobis, peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos, quesumus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum ab omnibus malis, praeteritis presentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata et gloriosa semper Deum maternam nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis da propitiis pacem, in diebus nostris, utopi misericordiae Tue aduiti, et a peccato simus semper liberi et ab omni perturbatione seculi. Per eundem Deum nostrum, Iesum Christum Filium Tuum Deum nostrum, qui tiga vivet et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum, et quoque potei. Ecce extio et consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum fiat et cipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum, et quoque apotei. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae, quaprante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem Tuum unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacrosanctum corpus et sanguinem Tuum ab omnibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis, et fac me Tui semper in harare mandatis, et atinum quam separare permittas, qui cum eodem Deum matronam nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, vivis et regnam aeternam. Perceptio corporis Tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indinius sumere presimo non mihi proveniet in illicima coronationem, sed pro tua pietate prosit mihi et tutum mentis corporis, et ad medelam percipiendum qui vivis et reinas, cum Deum matronam nostrae in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Panem celestem accipiem, et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deum matronam nostrae non sunt dignius, ut et exsultate meis in tanto verbis ab aeternum mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sunt dignius, ut et exsultate meis in tanto verbis ab aeternum mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sunt dignius, ut et exsultate meis in tanto verbis ab aeternum mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. quidritur bom Deum Iesum Christum. Pro omnibus quidritur mihi calicem saitaris accipiem et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo. Laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostri et ab inimicis meis salvus ero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima meam. Quodor subsumus Deum Iesum Christum. Punimente capiamus et immunum temporale fit nobis remedium sempiternam. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum, quod sunt se sanguis quem pata haebe herbus mei superista. Ut in me non remenia caelo la macula quem pura et sancta reficione sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te. Oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids, we beseech thee. O Deum, matronam nostri et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one God, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, et quoque apud te, ite missa est, Deum gratia. Placeat tibi sancta Trinitam, obsequium servitutis mei, presta ut sacrificium, cor oculis tui majestatis in nus auctoritivis et tratatare mique et omnibus, pro quibus idut optulis ite miserante perpetuabile per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam, et Filium, et Spiritum Sanctum. Deum Matronam nostri et Deum Iesum Christum et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. O Trinitarian Theophany, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most Holy Trinitarian Theophany, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of Deum Iesum Christum, present here, in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and the immaculate heart of Deum Matronam Nostrae, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. One quick mention, if Dawn is listening, I did receive your emails and I replied to them. I'm not sure if you're receiving them back. Sometimes the PTB are blocking my responses. But anyway, thank you everyone for your donations. I really appreciate it. I hope I don't forget anybody. But I do receive them, and again, thank you. It helps tremendously, and it's also one of those selfless acts that we talked about of the virtues, and one of the commandments of the church. All right, thank you for attending this morning, getting up early. If you're out west, I know that's a chore, and for those overseas. Again, I also have now the WISE app, and it doesn't have to be foreigners, but it works well for foreign exchange or donations because the fees are really low, and the fees are lower anyway for use even domestically. So if anybody is looking for that and doesn't want to use PayPal, which I don't blame them. So. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. I will see you tomorrow. Please go and sanctify all those who you meet. And tomorrow is a TDIF. All right. Thanks to CJ for that one. See you then.